Hold on.
No.
Good afternoon. I'm now going to call the Wednesday, November 1st, 2023 meeting of the Norfolk County Commission to order. On Wednesday, March 29th, 2023, Governor Healy signed into law Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act making appropriation for fiscal year 2023, which includes a 2-year extension, the option for public bodies to hold remote meetings by suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20. That action was effective immediately, extending the current option for remote meetings through March 31st, 2025. Good afternoon. I'm going to ask everyone to stand and join me in saluting the flag. Salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm going to call the roll. Commissioner Stady,
I am here, sir.
Commissioner Collins, and Commissioner Shea is present. We have a quorum. Number 3, minutes of the open session meeting of October 18th, 2023 for approval.
Peter, that was your meeting.
Motion. Thank you.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
I'll abstain on that one, Mr. Chairman, so I wasn't
Okay.
present.
I'm sorry, I voted on that one. The next one, the minutes of the open session meeting of October 25th for approval.
Yes, I'll move approval of those as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And I will abstain on the October 25th. Minutes of the executive session minutes of October 25th for approval.
I'll move approval, Mr. Chairman, as presented with the stipulation they don't be released until such time as deemed to be appropriate.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made second. All in favor?
Aye.
It is approved.
You're abstaining on that,
I abstain.
Mr. Chairman.
2-0. Number 6, appointments. We have none. Number 7, public comment. Each week, as part of our regular agenda, we have a public comment period. Allows anyone to come in and address the board or people out in the Zoom land, so to speak, as I say. Is there anyone interested in public comment at this time? Director Cronin, have you had any calls for public comment?
I had one call this week from Ms. Carla Foley, a Dedham neighbor, who wanted to just let me know she continues to monitor the town of Dedham's interest in putting crosswalk signalization on High Street. She just shared a voicemail with me, but nothing new.
Right, and she did write us a letter too that we.
She wrote a letter and she followed up with appearance before a meeting, testimony before a meeting with the select board in Dedham about 2 weeks ago. So, but it was a good update from Ms. Foley, and we thank her.
Okay.
That was all I have. Thank you.
Last call on public comment. Do we have anyone out there with interest in public comment? Okay, that's number 7. Number 8 is old business. Under old business, I have 2 issues from the engineering department that I believe are on last week's agenda. First one is request for review and vote of the proposed timeline and dates related to the Page Street east of Route 24 discontinuance in the town of Stoughton. Director Corin Patrick was here last week, our engineer.
He was. He presented these 2 items that you just mentioned to Commissioner Stady and Commissioner Collins. They wish to have you present for the vote.
Okay,
But our engineering department respectfully requests that if you decide to act upon these matters, the commissioners will also need to make a motion to accept the proposed timeline and dates as related to the Page Street petition. If you require that, Commissioner Stady, if you'd like to make the motion,
Yes.
do you have it or do you need any
I
information?
don't want to have the motion, I just have a request on the agenda. That's your motion, I don't see in front of me, but
This is the proposed petition timeline, and that would be requested as part of the motion. If you would be so kind.
okay, any more discussion on this before we make a motion? Patrick was here last week.
Yep. He's in
Okay,
training this
he's
week.
unable to be here today, I might add. He's at school. Okay,
Well,
I
Mr.
think we're
Chairman-
ready to go.
Yeah,
I
are you
see no
upset
reason
with-
now. We don't want to hold up the town of Stoughton
right.
under any conditions.
And we have a second item beyond Page Street. I'll give you the motion after that for the golf course, okay?
Right, sure, understood. All right, Mr. Chairman, through you, I'd like to move that we approve the timeline and dates, and as it refers to the Page Street project and the layout for the town of Stoughton. And so I would move that the Norfolk County Commissioners make a motion to accept the proposed timeline and dates as related to the Page Street petition. And I'll reference them as listed herein, rather than read them all, as presented on this memo to us October 23rd from our county engineer.
Second.
Any other discussion? Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll take care of that. Second,
That's the
vote to
timeline.
authorize the chairman of the commission to sign the town of Milton sign approval application on behalf of the Norfolk County Commissioners as the owners of the President's Golf Course and Wallison Recreation Facility, 257 West Squam Street, Quincy. Further vote to authorize Patrick Higgins to act the owner's representative and sign the application as such. This is the rear sign that's in the town of Milton. It's out on Granite Ave that you see before you go on the expressway. This will be the final
New sign, is that what it
new
is?
sign and
Yeah.
all the signage and work we did last year with the
Right,
parking lot,
that's
et
what I
cetera. And we had to go to the state and get some sort of license, and we did, and we're ready to go.
All right. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, I'll move
Yes.
that we move to authorize Chairman Joseph P. Shea, Chairman of the County Commission, to sign the Town of Milton sign approval application for the Milton Select Board on behalf of the Norfolk County Commissioners as the owners of President's Golf Course and Wollaston Recreational Facility, 357 West Quantum Street, Quincy, Mass. And in addition, move to authorize Patrick Higgins to act as the owner's representative and to sign the application as such and take any action related thereto. So,
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Aye. I'm gonna
We can
sign it
sign it.
as we speak.
I think Joe signs. Do we have
No, it says,
all three of us?
it
Okay.
says, yeah, this is the actual vote.
Okay.
And then Joe would sign the application.
Got it.
So I believe
Okay.
we signed this.
Here's the, okay,
I think that takes care of the
that takes care of
continuation of old
that.
business, right?
Right, we're gonna move on to, no more old business. We're gonna move on to personnel matters for consideration. There are several.
All right. Mr. Chairman, if you want,
Yes,
wish.
go ahead.
I'll move first a group from Norfolk County Agricultural High School. The first two are making a motion for contingent employment. First for Lauren Durso of Walpole as a substitute teacher at the rate stated, and that would be effective 11/2/23. In addition, a contingent employment for Hannah Cohen Donovan of North Attleboro as the JV basketball coach at the rate stated, effective 11/2/23. So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Next one is a substitute nurse.
I think the next group are all notice of resignation.
Correct.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'll move the following for approval of notice of resignation. First, for Joanne Hall of West Bridgewater as substitute teacher, effective 10/23/23. Also for Alan O'Brien of Weymouth, substitute teacher, effective date 10/23/23. Resignation of Nolene McQuaid of West Roxbury as camp nurse and substitute nurse at the rate stated, effective 10/23/23. And Meredith Bork of Uxbridge as a substitute nurse. And again, the rate stated and effective 10/23/23. Final one, the resignation of Emily Anderson of West Bridgewater, substitute nurse, the rate stated 10/23/23. Those are all resignations at the Aggie. So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Any further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Thank you. Notice of appointment in Commissioner's Office. Commissioner Stady.
Rest, the new, we welcome the new appointment. So I move the appointment of William Robertson of Hanover, Mass. as the fiscal specialist at the rate stated, and his effective date is 11/6/23. So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
That's next
One
week.
other family medical leave application for an employee effective 9/19.
Right. I just moved that, right? Do we need to move
We
it?
just move it. We don't-
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'll move Family Medical Leave Act notification for an employee effective 9/19/23. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. How about payroll and expense warrants for approval?
Yes, sir. The warrant list for 11/1/23. Happy November. Move the following, quite a list here. First, 24-17, move approval of the payroll of the county in the amount of $154,117.35. So moved.
Second.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Thank you.
Second, 24-17, parentheses 9, payroll of the school. Move approval of the sum of $366,317.48. So moved.
Second.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Next.
Third, 11-0124, expense of the county. Move the sum $619,795.37. So moved.
Second.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Thank you.
The
Next.
next four are opera awards to different towns.
Go ahead.
First one is 24-11 Opera Dedham, and this is $76,620.35. So moved.
Second.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Thank you.
The second one, also to the town of Dedham, 24-11, and this sum is for the $133,000 flat sum. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
The third, 24-11, an opera award to the town of Canton, and this is for the sum of $270,000.
Are you sure you want to?
I definitely want to move this one. So move.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
Final one, Mr. Chairman, 24-11, opera award to Weymouth, pretty substantial, in the sum of $1,038,495.63. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded on town of Weymouth, all in favor?
Aye.
Is that our first town of Weymouth or second?
Sorry, I think we've
That's
had,
the second one.
Okay, good,
That's the
good,
second one.
good. That's
But
good.
that's
Then
good.
we're moving along. Yep.
Yep. And they're very excited
We'll
to see
take care of
that.
Weymouth.
Yeah.
Next is report on American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, Director Cronin.
thank you, commissioners. One item, for your attention, well, two. The first is this past week, we held a conference call with Clifton Larson to discuss three new purpose areas that have been approved by Congress in December of 2022, with directions released by the U.S. Treasury at the end of September of 2023. So the Treasury took approximately 9 months to develop and send out guidance on these new categories. During the conference call, Zoom, if you will, with Clifton Larson, we discussed the deep parameters and applicable areas that these new categories provide. There's nothing, I wouldn't call any of the three categories very attractive for a lot of the clients in Norfolk County that have applied for these grants. They fall into categories including CDBG, which is a community development block grant to help use ARPA to accentuate and use complement other federal grants for housing needs. There's also an area associated with FEMA and emergency relief. It's an area that would have some applicability for communities doing work on dams or bridges or anything related to climate resiliency or response to emergencies. And the last one is improving surface transportation projects. This did not have explicit permission to use funds for paving, which has been a widely requested item across Norfolk County. Instead, it's for more transportation-related improvements that have, things that would improve mass transportation, things like that. From my observation, what Congress did is they took, they've obviously heard from constituents that these grants, the ARPA grants, should and could be used by large urban municipalities to complement existing grants like CDBG or large FEMA grants or large transportation grants. They're trying to merge the purchasing power of ARPA with these other programs, which is smart. And I think what we found was that in Norfolk County, we don't have as many urban areas that would be, grappling for this type of funds. But having said that, our goal, as you know, has been to service the communities as much as possible and get information out to them without delay. To that end, we hope to have a memo out to all the communities next week, giving them full guidance and description of these purposes. I have to compliment again Clifton Larson. They did a great job. 19 slide deck that gave very good specific yet generalized information to frame what the purpose of these expanded uses can be. Our hope is that that will be shared with the communities very shortly. So with that, we hopefully have also inform the communities how they can optimize the grants going forward. As you know, with today's approval, we're close to 95 million. So as we close in on the back end of the grant, some of these communities may find it useful. So that is thing one. Thing two is relative to a change in level two approvers. So I think I mentioned when the commissioners approved the audit contract for Powers and Sullivan simultaneously resigned from that role. We sought out different services which are exempt from 30B, and we found a partner, Jennifer Thompson Associates, who was recommended to us by Clifton Larson to take on this limited role. The level two review is not as heavy a lift as the level one. They act as a second set of eyes to the approval of any grant that comes down to them. Powers and Sullivan had done the work, and I think correctly framed it as quite a secondary role, but it's an important one. And Jennifer Thompson has agreed to fill that void over the next 13 months for the remaining grant awards that come our way. Jennifer is in a different position. She is a private firm. She's a former town administrator in Norfolk County. And she currently provides grant support and administration for 2 county communities, Franklin and Plainville. So she will not allow to be reviewing those community grants when they come in. We'll find another source to look at those grants when they come in. So we think we've covered the financial independence angle. We found a solution to backfill Powers and Sullivan, and we're delighted that it's Jennifer who has a deep familiarity with the product that we've been putting forth to the county over the last 2 years. That's my update on ARPA.
Okay,
Quick question.
any questions? Commissioner Stady?
Mr. Chairman, if I may. So the second person, the second group that they're taking the place of, they only review certain types of grants?
They review the grants that have been approved by Clifton Larson
That's what I
in the
thought.
queue.
Okay, so my question, point of fact,
Mhm.
I mean, we're almost halfway through the program.
More than
Well,
halfway.
okay.
Yeah.
And looking always ways to save some money for other uses. Is it really worth it to have the second group?
Yes.
Are other people doing this in the other counties?
All of them
Haven't-
do it.
They're all doing
And
it.
Powers and Sullivan will continue to do it in the other 4 counties.
Okay, okay. So if your recommendation is stay with a second set of eyes,
It is.
just to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
I'm okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Good call.
Do we need a vote on this?
No. It's a simple contract and amendment that we'll put through Nancy.
Okay, sounds good.
It may, if Nancy feels it needs a commissioner's vote, it'll come up next week. I
Okay,
just finalized this or engaged them yesterday. So
sounds good.
Okay, number 12, opera warrants. Any further conversation needed for today's opera warrants? Any comments at all?
No, great to see the town of Dedham so active. It's been amazing.
Very-
They've had quite a bit.
Mhm.
It's just good to see.
Okay, it's 1:30 or thereabouts, and we're gonna award, we don't have any bids today, but we're gonna have Nancy come in. So, hello, good afternoon, Nancy.
Hello.
Procurement specialist, we have 2 contract awards today. First one. Dedham District Court.
Yep, this is the elevator upgrades for Devon District Court.
Hey,
I sent this out to 4 companies, 1 responded, United Elevator. Their bid was $283,709.
any questions about this? Have we dealt with this contractor before?
They're actually our preventative maintenance
Okay,
contractor.
Okay, so they know this elevator,
Yes,
and this will be a new elevator at 289,000.
it's an upgrade, like all the main components,
Okay,
yes.
upgrade, okay. Any questions about the elevator? Dedham Court overdue? Yes, Sean?
Thank you, Commissioner. First, I want to thank Nancy for helping to expedite this procurement. This particular elevator has had chronic downtime at Dedham District that inhibits individuals from accessing the second, third floors of that building. In order to avoid any shutdown of the court or disruption of services, we've tried to move the procurement along as fast as possible. This was approved in our recent capital budget for FY24, and no, was it the capital budget? It was the capital budget.
Capital
Yeah,
budget.
yep. We will obviously look forward to working with this vendor to get all the parts installed as quickly as possible and on a schedule that complements the needs of the trial court.
Is this transferable to, can we build to state for this after it's done?
Yes, it
Okay,
is
that's
eligible, I would think, yeah.
That's
So
good.
it's
news. For the
capital-
COVID doing
capital
better do it,
upgrade.
so
Hundred
let's go.
percent.
Okay, any other questions about the elevator at Dedham District Court? Commissioner Stady,
Make a motion to approve the contract to the
Elevator upgrades
elevator upgrade
at Dedham District Court.
on behalf of United Elevator for the upgrades at the Dedham District Court as presented. I'll move that for approval, and I'll be signing it.
motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it is the vote, thank you. Next is a change order for the fuel tank reconditioning and upgrade at the Wallaston Recreational Facility, which was an ongoing project, right?
Yes.
What is the change order, please?
The company discovered while they were installing everything, they need to do a lot of wiring and new circuits, which was unforeseen. That cost us $7,800. And Carl had also requested an additional emergency stop at the maintenance building for $1,400. So the total of the change order is $9,200.
Any questions, commissioners? This is an ongoing project that we voted prior, right?
Yes,
And
this contract was awarded about a month ago, and they've
And
been,
it's a
they
change
encountered
of
this.
$9,200 for the reasons stated above.
I'll move the approval of the fuel tank reconditioning and upgrade change order for the Wallace Recreational Facility in the sum not to exceed $9,200 as presented today.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's signed.
Okay, this concludes that. I'm gonna sign it. Petroleum Management Services, Owen Hughes.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay,
Thank you.
next item. Report of the county director.
Just a few items, Mr. Chairman. First is to alert the commissioners of a bid by the Commonwealth associated with Quincy District Court. Quincy District Court, as you know, is under the ownership of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I understand this summer they bid the space needed for the court to move into while the existing court is demolished and the new court is constructed. That bid this past summer was for the city of Quincy. They received no bids. So recently, just FYI, that's all this is, they've expanded a new lease solicitation for the communities of Braintree, Holbrook, Milton, Quincy, Randolph, or Weymouth. And this is courthouse, office, detention, holding space for trials, and record storage. It's a sizable request for 48,500 usable square feet. That's approximately 16,000 square feet bigger than the existing courthouse, and they are looking for a 5-year term until, as I mentioned, the new courthouse is constructed. So I pass this along for informational purposes. Several of you represent communities listed in this solicitation, and also to let you know, I've forwarded this to the Norfolk County District Attorney, who, as you know, has a very strong interest in the Quincy District Court, and also to avail himself of whatever DCAM is doing in the event it includes available space for district attorneys to conduct their business. So just an FYI, copy of that bid is up and it closes November 16th at 2 o'clock. Next.
Any comments? I had a reason to be discussing this with the Mayor Coke today. He's aware of it. He's been throughout this whole process aware and had suggested several sites to them, but no one seemed to bite. I mean, it's, but they have to move somewhere while they build a new court, so.
Yeah.
I wish we had an extra space somewhere that we could house them, but we
I
don't.
think it's the same thing. Do we?
We don't own anything else down there anymore.
Can they bifurcate that? Could they maybe, if they can't find, that's a 48,000, could they divide it? And maybe do 24s or something?
I don't know. I think that would be a challenge for transportation of inmates just on its face, but I wouldn't rule out. When I spoke with the trial court administrator who's doing this work, Chris McQuaid, I think he knew he was going to run into some market challenges. So if they don't get bids associated with this particular posting in these areas, they may have to look at solutions like that, Commissioner. I wouldn't rule it out if I was him. They'll need space one way or another. So we'll have to wait and see. But obviously what they do feeds into the timeline of our work in that building.
Right.
So far, they're on the schedule that they told me they'd be on, which is bid it by the fall of 24. And then if it's awarded before the end of the calendar year, they'll begin working with the new landlord to build out the space. And that could take 6 to 8 months by itself before they physically move out of the building. So easily they'll be in Quincy through the end of June
Yeah.
and likely into FY25 if things drag on. So
So they're still in Quincy right now, and they're gonna be there for a while
Right.
until they get this work done.
that's right.
Okay.
So that's
I mean, I
that.
was there yesterday and it's, business is booming.
Thank you.
Another is an announcement from our IT department. This Thursday evening, November 2nd, our IT staff is going to move a file server to a new rack and upgrade the power supply for the phone equipment on the first floor of 614 High Street. That's the Commissioner's building. So staff will be asked to power down between 4:30 p.m. and 5:45 p.m. This Thursday evening. So Sam and his staff will handle that. But I wanted to let folks know publicly Thursday evening some scheduled IT work. And then finally, I circulated an email to the commissioners, FYI. The next County Commissioners Association meeting is scheduled for December 8th. Bristol County has responded with an interest to host in New Bedford on that day. The location has not been determined yet.
Immaculate
And I also
Conception.
don't have the time, but I just want to make sure the 8th is still good and that you're both, or excuse me, all three of you are interested in New Bedford as the location. Commissioner Mitchell thought it was the best space for commissioners from the islands, possibly if they're interested in coming up, they wouldn't have to travel too far north. So if you kindly let me know that, I'll pass it along to Commissioner Mitchell for planning purposes.
Is it gonna be at a courthouse or some kind of?
I believe it'll be at a restaurant or a function area.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm game.
I put it down already.
It's a
Hopefully
Friday.
we can all make it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm imagining it's a lunch type meeting, right?
Yes,
Midday,
that is the
as we
intention.
always have that done. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
All right, I'll let them know that a quorum of commissioners will be available.
Yeah, that's great.
That's November 8th, excuse me,
December.
December 8th.
Right.
Thank you. That's all I have, Commissioner.
Okay, any further questions of the county director?
No.
Thank you. Emergency items or topics the chair did not reasonably anticipate. I do not have any. There is a school board meeting tonight.
Yeah,
um,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at agricultural school.
Don't have
Okay,
anything.
I have nothing else. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move we adjourn at 1:33.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.